In the beginning of the story, we meet Kaya, who lives with her younger brother and father. Recently, her mother passed away, leaving the whole house in shock. The atmosphere at home has grown heavy and silent, as none of them talk much anymore. Kaya, however, tries her best to take care of her brother and father, even sacrificing her own outings. Today, her friend Clara calls her for a walk. Kaya's father, still unable to recover from the grief, is deeply saddened. Their mother had died on his boat, the very boat he is repairing today. Every time he looks at it, he is reminded of the accident. Despite this, Kaya leaves in her jeep and meets Clara, who is waiting with a group planning to spend some time at sea. Clara reveals that another friend and her brother will also join. Kaya doesn't like being around too many people, so she isn't happy. But Clara reassures her, saying her brother's friend is nice, and she might like him. Soon they all meet, and it's revealed that both brothers are vloggers. Clara's friend shares today's plan. They are heading to a nearby island on jet boards. Kaya hesitates because she wants to be home before evening, but they convince her it won't take long. Clara also promises they'll return before sunset. Kaya finally agrees, and the four of them set off. On the island, they enjoy themselves. Clara and her friend swim, while Kaya sits and talks with the other brother. For the first time in a while, she feels good, as she needed someone who could be more than just a friend. Soon, Kaya also joins them in the water, riding jet boards. Trying to impress Kaya, the brother speeds up recklessly. Suddenly, Clara and her friend's jet board overturns, throwing them into the water. In the chaos, the speeding jet board accidentally runs over Clara's friend, leaving him badly injured and unconscious. Moments later, the reckless brother's jet board overturns too, and he falls hard into the water, also getting hurt. Now Clara is terrified in the water, so Kaya helps calm her down. Meanwhile, the injured brother searches for his sibling, but he is nowhere to be found. They soon realize he is drowned from the collision. The surviving brother is filled with guilt, regretting that his carelessness caused his brother's death. But he is too injured to do much. To make matters worse, both jet boards have lost their fuel in the water. The three of them are now stranded, forced to swim and wait for help. Just then, something approaches. At first they hope it's a ship, but it turns out to be a shark. Kaya knows staying in the open sea is dangerous, so she tells everyone to climb onto the damaged jet board. Miraculously, a boat appears in the distance. Its captain, Ray, spots them and speeds toward them. Hearing their cries for help, he pulls all three aboard and assures them they are safe. He seats Clara's injured friend carefully, who has lost a lot of blood. Clara goes inside to the washroom, where Ray happens to be. He keeps glancing at Kaya in a way that feels strange. When Clara doesn't return for a while, Kaya goes to check. She sees Ray working with some chemicals, assuming he is preparing medicine for the injured friend. She stays quiet, not disturbing him. But then Ray suddenly presses a chemical-soaked cloth over Kaya's mouth, knocking her unconscious. It becomes clear Ray is not a good man. He locks Kaya inside a container at the back of the ship, leaving Clara's injured friend behind, perhaps because he is male and already weak. 2 hours later, Kaya wakes up in the container, terrified. Soon after, Clara also regains consciousness. They notice help carved on a stick, proof that others were once imprisoned here. The chamber has only one way out, a hatch above, now locked. The mattress is stained with blood and covered with strands of hair, signs that many girls had been kept here before. Both are horrified, realizing they've fallen into a trap. Regret fills them, if only they hadn't agreed to come to the island. But now escape is all they can think about because the longer they stay, the greater the danger becomes. The next morning, Ray opens the hatch and throws in live rotten fish for them to eat. Kaya begs him to let her go, crying that her younger brother is alone at home and needs her. Ray coldly warns her. If she tries to escape, he'll kill her, chop her body into pieces, and feed it to the fish. Then, he locks the hatch again. He spends his time smoking, drinking, eating raw fish, and listening to music, living a twisted routine. Occasionally, he speaks to someone on his walkie-talkie, which hints that more people may be involved. Meanwhile, Clara's injured friend lies helpless. For days, Ray provides him neither food nor treatment. 4 days later, the sound of a ship excites the girls, thinking rescue has come. But instead, it's a doctor who arrives by small boat. The doctor checks Clara's friend, asking how long he's been there. Ray replies about 4 days. Strangely, the doctor says, "That's fine, he'll be useful too." Then he goes below deck, where Kaya and Clara sit trembling in the corner. He asks who is hurt, saying he came to treat them. Clara steps forward, lies down for the check, and the doctor examines her. Then, he heads back upstairs to talk with Ray. Soon after the doctor leaves, screams echo from Clara's injured friend. To their horror, the doctor is cutting out his organs while he is still alive, his kidneys, heart, eyes, liver, and more. This is his business, selling organs for money. After torturing him, they throw his body into the sea. Hearing the screams stop, Kaya and Clara realize he's dead. They also understand that the doctor is just as cruel as Ray, and the two are working together. Later, they overhear them talking. The doctor says they'll kill the injured girl and take the healthy one, because he has a rich client whose son needs a kidney. In return, they'll earn a fortune. Ray agrees, since this has been their method for years, rescuing stranded people and selling their organs. Not long after, Ray and the doctor return, dragging Clara upstairs. Kaya tries to stop them, but Ray knocks her out cold. Hours later, she regains consciousness and hears Clara's terrified screams. That means Clara is still alive, but Kaya knows she has to act fast. She notices a fan in the container that is now switched off. If pushed outward, it could open a hole. With all her strength, Kaya forces it open and escapes. She sneaks upstairs and sees the doctor preparing to operate on Clara, while Ray leaves for a moment. Kaya slips down to the engine room, where she finds a fishing spear. When Ray steps away, Kaya confronts the doctor, pointing the weapon at him. He is shocked. No one has ever managed to escape before. He tries to manipulate her with words, but Kaya fires, wounding him. Furious, he attacks. During the struggle, Kaya manages to untie Clara's ropes. Clara seizes the chance, stabbing the doctor in the neck repeatedly until he finally dies. The two girls search for a way out. Knowing the doctor arrived by a small boat, they jump into the water, heading toward his ship. Ray, unaware of what happened, soon discovers the doctor's body and realizes something is wrong. Spotting the girls in the water, he tries to start his boat, but it won't start. Down in the engine room, he finds the wires cut. It was Kaya's doing, anticipating this moment. Clara, still injured, struggles to swim. Kaya helps her as best she can, but eventually decides to go alone to the ship for help. She boards the doctor's ship, but can't find the keys. Instead, she discovers a radio and contacts the Coast Guard, explaining her situation. They instruct her to find a device called a picker, which transmits her location. Searching, Kaya finds a flare instead, but later also discovers the picker. As she prepares to activate it, she senses someone in the water. It's Ray. She hides as he boards the ship. Kaya retreats into the doctor's quarters, where she finds a family photo. Shockingly, the doctor had 2 daughters of his own, yet was heartless enough to destroy the lives of others for money. Ray eventually corners Kaya and stabs her in the stomach. Injured and weak, she pretends to embrace him, then fires a flare into his face. Screaming in agony, Ray collapses. Kaya, bleeding, drags herself toward the edge of the ship. She tries to throw the picker into the sea, but faints. All night, waves rock the ship until the picker slips into the water on its own, activating her signal. By morning, the Coast Guard arrives, rescuing Kaya and recovering Ray's lifeless body. As they prepare to leave, they spot Clara floating in the sea, miraculously still alive. The girls break down in tears, overwhelmed by everything they endured. Though rescued, Kaya still carries the deep pain of her mother's loss. Yet as they're brought safely ashore, she and Clara share a smile, grateful to have survived, vowing never to put themselves in such danger again. And with that, the story of this film comes to an end. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.